Have you ever sat in the quiet of your room, completely exhausted, wondering why no matter how much you work on yourself, the love you are desperately searching for always seems to slip right through your fingers? You have done the work. You read the psychology books. You repeat the daily affirmations. You look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are finally ready to be loved properly. And yet somehow, the relationships that find their way into your life keep playing out the exact same tragic script. It is a different person, a different city, a different set of circumstances, but it is always the same ending, the same hollow loneliness, the same agonizing question echoing in the silence of your mind. What am I doing wrong? Why am I so difficult to love? Welcome to Beyond Brain. If you found your way to this message today, I need you to listen closer than you ever have before, because I'm about to tell you the truth that almost no one else will. You will never be loved, not in the way your soul is craving, until you understand that the problem is not out there. It is not about finding the right person. It is not about saying the right things, wearing the right clothes, or learning how to be more accommodating. The real issue is something that the vast majority of human beings will go their entire lives without ever seeing. But once you see it, everything in your reality changes. Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychiatrist who spent decades mapping the darkest, most hidden depths of the human mind, discovered a psychological mechanism that completely revolutionizes how we understand romantic love. He found that we do not actually see other people as they truly are. We see reflections, we see mirrors. Every single person who stirs something deep and chaotic inside of you, every relationship that grips you by the throat and refuses to let go, is showing you something about yourself that you have been completely unwilling or entirely unable to look at. Think about the last person who made you feel an intense, overwhelming charge. I am not talking about mild attraction. I'm talking about the kind of person who reached into your chest and twisted your heart. Maybe it was someone who made you feel incredibly small and anxious. Or maybe it was someone who awakened parts of you that you thought died a long time ago. Maybe it was someone who irritated you so deeply, so viscerally, that you literally could not stop thinking about them. That person did not walk into your life by accident. They were a messenger, and the message they carried was entirely about you. In Jungian psychology, this is called projection, but it goes infinitely deeper than just seeing your own personality traits in someone else. You are not just seeing yourself, you are seeing the specific parts of yourself that you have locked away in the basement of your psyche. The parts you have fiercely rejected, the parts you have spent your entire life running away from, and until you stop running, turn around and face those very parts of yourself, you will continue to crash into the exact same mirrors, the exact same toxic patterns, and the exact same heartbreak. Today the running stops. Today you are going to understand exactly why you have been stuck in a loop, but more importantly, you are going to receive the exact map to escape it. This is not just a theory. This is a surgical look at the part of your mind that holds the master key to every relationship you will ever have. By the time this video ends, your entire paradigm of love will be dismantled and rebuilt. But to get there, we must first talk about the part of you that society taught you to hate. The part that Carl Jung discovered secretly runs your entire life from the shadows, the invisible architect that determines exactly who you're attracted to, who you push away, and why you keep ending up in the exact same painful situations, no matter how hard you fight to change. There is a version of yourself that you present to the world. It is the highly curated, acceptable version. It is the version that smiles politely when you are actually angry, says the right things to keep the peace, and contorts itself into whatever shape the people around you require. You have spent decades crafting this version. You have refined it, polished it, and defended it. But here is the devastating truth you were never told. That version is not you. It is a survival mask. And underneath that heavy mask lives every single thing you had to hide in order to survive your childhood and fit into the world. Carl Jung called this hidden, exiled part of your psyche the shadow. He didn't call it the shadow because it is evil, malicious, or morally dark. He called it the shadow because it exists completely in the dark of your unconscious mind, where your ego cannot look at it directly. Your shadow is a massive psychological vault. It is made up of every quality you were taught was unacceptable, every emotion you were scolded for, every desire that made your parents or your peers uncomfortable, every brilliant, messy, chaotic part of you that did not fit the pristine image of who you were supposed to be. Maybe when you were a child, you learned that expressing anger got you punished, so you swallowed it whole. Maybe you learned that showing vulnerability or crying made people pull away from you, so you built a fortress of ice around your heart. Perhaps you were told you were too sensitive, too loud, too needy, or too ambitious. So you took a psychological scalpel, cut those pieces out of your identity and shoved them into the dark. You created a version of yourself that was safe, manageable, and guaranteed to be tolerated. But here is the terrifying, beautiful truth about the human shadow. It does not die just because you ignore it. It does not dissolve just because you pretend it isn't there. Instead, it festers. It grows massive in the darkness. It gains a terrifying amount of power, and it begins to demand expression. And because you will not let it out consciously, it finds a backdoor. The most powerful, destructive, and undeniable way your shadow expresses itself is through your romantic relationships. Your shadow refuses to stay locked inside you. It projects itself outward like a massive movie projector beaming a film onto a blank screen. And the people around you, especially the people you date, become that screen. The traits that you absolutely despise in other people, the qualities that trigger a visceral, angry reaction in your body, those are almost always the exact traits you have disowned within yourself. Let me show you exactly how this operates in reality. If arrogance in other people makes your blood boil, if you cannot stand someone who takes up too much space and thinks highly of themselves, there is a massive probability that you are terrified of your own power. You have aggressively suppressed your own confidence, your own voice, and your own sense of superiority, because you were taught that taking up space was ugly or selfish. So, when you see a partner freely expressing that arrogance, you aren't actually angry at them. You are reacting to the exiled part of yourself that is screaming to be let out. Or perhaps you always find yourself magnetically drawn to people who are broken, people who are drowning in their own chaos, who desperately need saving, who make you feel indispensable and necessary. Pause for a moment and ask yourself the hardest question. What part of me is begging to be saved? What deep, bleeding wound am I trying to bandage in them? Because I am too terrified to look at the wound inside myself. And the projection trap works both ways. The qualities that you intensely, obsessively admire in others, the people you place on a massive pedestal because they seem so magical or free, they are simply reflecting your own unlived, suppressed potential. The wild freedom you admire in that emotionally unavailable artist you are dating, that is your own deeply buried desire for freedom, projected onto a stranger because you won't give yourself permission to live it. This is the psychological mechanism that keeps you chained to the exact same toxic relationship loop. You are not cursed. The universe is not punishing you. You are simply, unconsciously, hunting down people who will reflect your unhealed trauma back to you over and over again until you finally have the courage to look at it. Every person who has ever shattered your heart, every toxic partner you couldn't pull yourself away from, even when your logical mind knew they were destroying you. They were all mirrors. Your nervous system is a pattern recognition machine. It is deeply wired to seek out whatever feels familiar, even if what is familiar is absolute agony. This is exactly why healthy, stable, consistent love often feels incredibly boring to you. It is why when someone finally treats you with genuine respect and gentleness, your body panics. You feel an itch to run. You think, there is no spark here, there is no chemistry. But what is actually missing isn't chemistry. What is missing is the familiar chaos. What is missing is the specific cocktail of anxiety, adrenaline, and cortisol that your childhood trained you to interpret as love. Your nervous system doesn't know how to exist in peace. It only knows how to survive in a war zone. So, when there is no war, you go out and find a partner who will start one for you. I want you to look back at your relationship history right now, not to judge yourself, not to drown in shame, but to observe it like a scientist looking at data. Do you always end up with partners who are emotionally walled off? Do you constantly attract people who are hypercritical and make you feel like you are constantly failing? These are not tragic coincidences. These are massive, flashing neon signs pointing directly at your shadow. This is your unhealed trauma, calling out for your attention through the only language it has left: repetition. This is the fundamental shift that changes your entire destiny. Instead of sitting in tears asking, why does this person treat me this way? Why are they so cold? You must start asking a radically different question. What is this person's coldness trying to show me about my own internal landscape? The second you make this psychological pivot, you take all of your power back. As long as you believe that your toxic partners are the core problem, you are entirely powerless. You are a permanent victim of bad luck and terrible timing. But the moment you recognize the mirror, the moment you accept that you are an active participant, unconsciously casting these people to play a role in your trauma loop, you instantly reclaim the ability to rewrite the script. This is not about victim blaming. This is about absolute empowerment. Every person who has ever hurt you was unconsciously trying to point you back home to yourself. They were showing you the exact pieces of your soul that you abandoned in the cold. But knowing this intellectually is entirely useless. Reading a quote about projection will not heal your attachment style. We have to do the dark work. You must meet your shadow face to face. Every time you judge a part of yourself and lock it away, you split your psyche. You become fragmented. There is the fake, polite you, and the hidden, suppressed you. And when you are living in a state of psychological fragmentation, you are literally incapable of experiencing true intimacy. How can a partner truly love all of you when you are violently refusing to accept all of you? How can you ever feel secure in a relationship when a voice in your head is constantly whispering, if they ever saw the real me, the needy me, the angry me, the messy me, they would leave in a heartbeat? This is why you self-sabotage. You build invisible walls. You pick fights over nothing. You push them away before they can get too close and discover the monster you believe is hiding in your shadow. You are not hiding a monster. You are simply hiding the beautiful, terrifying fullness of your humanity. Carl Jung spoke of the ultimate goal of human existence, individuation, becoming whole. It is not about achieving some fake, enlightened perfection. It is about dragging all the scattered, bloody, rejected pieces of yourself out of the basement, looking them in the eye, and saying, "You belong to me." The anger you suppressed, that is your ability to set fierce boundaries. The terrifying vulnerability you hid, that is your only bridge to true soul-shaking connection. The neediness you hated yourself for, that is your profound capacity to love deeply. The shadow contains your greatest gifts, trapped in the dark. So how do we break the loop? How do we integrate this and finally become capable of receiving the love we want? You must start by tracking the mirror. I want you to start a trigger journal today. Every single time someone sparks a disproportionate emotional reaction in you, whether it is intense rage, crippling anxiety, or obsessive infatuation, you pause, you write it down, you ask yourself, where does the exact trait that is triggering me exist within my own shadow? Where am I refusing to give myself permission to act the way they are acting? When your partner triggers your anxious attachment style by pulling away, and your chest tightens with the terror of abandonment, you do not bombard them with desperate texts. You sit in the fire of that trigger. You realize that the abandonment you are terrified of happening right now already happened decades ago. You are reacting to a ghost. You must become the fiercely loving, consistent parent to your own inner child that you never had. When the anxiety spikes, you place a hand on your chest and you tell yourself, I am safe. I am whole. I will not abandon you, even if they do. This is the alchemy of shadow work. You stop demanding that your romantic partner regulate your nervous system, and you learn to anchor yourself. And when you do this, when you stop treating your relationships like a trauma hospital where your partner is the surgeon, everything in your reality shifts. The toxic, emotionally unavailable people who used to have you in an absolute chokehold will suddenly lose all their power. You will look at them, see their unhealed wounds, and instead of feeling a magnetic, addictive pull to fix them, you will simply feel a gentle indifference. You will naturally walk away because your nervous system is no longer starving for the chaos they provide. And in their place, a completely different caliber of human being will begin to enter your reality. When you operate from the place of deep, integrated wholeness, you become a magnet for people who are also whole. You stop attracting people who mirror your bleeding wounds, and you start attracting people who reflect your profound healing. You will experience a love that feels steady, a love that feels safe, a connection where two complete people stand side by side, entirely unmasked, choosing each other not out of desperate necessity, but out of a pure, grounded desire to grow together. But you must hear this final truth before you leave. You have been searching the entire globe for a love that will finally make you feel worthy. You have been waiting for someone to walk through the door and declare that you are finally enough. But love is not something you go out and find. Love is not a prize you earn for being good enough. Love is exactly what you become the moment you finally stop being at war with your own soul. The love you have been agonizing over, crying over, and begging for was never out there in another person. It has always been sitting quietly inside of you, waiting patiently for you to stop running. You do not need to be fixed. You do not need to be saved. You simply need to come home to yourself, all of yourself. Take back your shadow, reclaim your suppressed power, meet your own darkness with radical, unconditional compassion. When you do that, you stop being a beggar at the door of love, hoping someone throws you a crumb of affection. You become the source of the love itself. And the moment you realize that you are the very thing you have been searching for, That is the moment the right person finally walks into your life, looks at your brilliant, integrated wholeness and says, "There you are. You are not broken. You are just waking up. Welcome home."